meta, I can pick Tristana into anything champions. That's a big statement out of Gamers 2 that they don't want to face that again.
Yeah, Tristana's name is not Graves, and we're now looking towards that Rumble ban at Mini J. He's played that multiple times throughout the tournament and has looked very good in it. Say goodbye to Take Fun Zed, despite him actually first picking Zed last week and actually losing with it and actually getting outplayed in lane. He was against the Vlad and it was a very difficult matchup, but still, it draws a ban, which is good for Reason Gaming. And now what do they do with their final ban? But yeah, going on to that Tristana point again, like drawing a ban there is insane, and I would wonder if Gamers 2 are again trying to go late and trying to go with the same comp.
This leaves one of two things open. It leaves either the Aurelia or the Sejuani open. I like the Lulu ban as well, because this kind of allows Reason to say, hey, we're not letting Gamers 2 go for the same comp again, just expecting the execution to be different. Lulu just a very versatile pick, and if you're not going to first pick it, don't let it get played.
Yeah, especially because Tristana's banned, so they don't have that counter to that late game cog. It's not a counter as such, but it's something that can stand up to him.
Yeah, exactly. It's one less scaling AD carry to put up against it. And the Aurelia is available. Reason have first picked it in previous games.
I mean,
but
if I was Kuba.
Hecarim's available. And Hecarim is a lane counter to Aurelia, so you'd have to then swap the Aurelia into a 1v2. Yeah. So Reason won't actually be too unhappy about this, because Kuban just showed us he can play Hecarim. We know he can play Aurelia, so Aurelia being open is actually fine.
Okay, so they just go for the support. They say, okay, Gamers 2, take your choice of either Hecarim or Aurelia, and we'll play around that. And now, they actually have given the Gilius his Nidalee. Interesting, very interesting, because I wasn't banned away this game, it was banned in the last game. Gilius has been almost renowned for his Nidalee play throughout the round robin, and they give it over to him. A little bit ballsy. I haven't actually seen Zayu play too much Nidalee, so that may be the reason. Otherwise, they could have picked it there. There's the Ahri for Ica, so he's taking it away from Take Fun. There's still a LeBlanc open, though, if he wants it.
So this is a very different setup here from G2 than the last game. This is far more aggressive. Nidalee Ahri, that's a lot of damage that's going to come out from the mid and jungle synergy here. So you mentioned the LeBlanc. We are on 5.6. Very minor adjustments to LeBlanc. Not enough to take her out of the meta at all. And actually one of the few games that we're actually seeing her available. So we don't see her often too much. She was available in the last game and nobody picked her.
Indeed, that was the case, but Ahri is also open. She is not now for Take Fun, so that could be a possibility, but they're still not showing us any of those picks that we're talking about, because it's Lucian who's locked in, so we do see that bot lane coming through. And as you mentioned, the small changes to LeBlanc. I'm going to shut up and talk about the Hecarim, though, because there we go. Kuban actually goes for the Hecarim over the Aurelia and says, all right, Gamers 2, if you want the Aurelia, I wouldn't pick Aurelia into this, especially if they go for non-lane swaps and they just go for the 1v1.
So the theory behind this Hecarim Aurelia, it's a lane counter that has been around for a while. Before Hecarim was popular, you sit on the minion because of his passive that allows you to ignore unit collision. Aurelia can never Q to the minion that she wants to, because you sit on top of it, she Qs you, you're a lower health, she can't stun you, you trade it back.
Yeah.
That's exactly how that lane goes. So G2 have to lane swap this, or somehow Smitty J has to outplay that. Yeah. That's the two options on this one. So that's a tough lane. Also, the other option is that it could be a Hecarim jungle. I don't expect it. The Gragas is still available. That we saw Zayu had great success on last time. The team fight setup between Gragas and Hecarim is very good, and it's difficult to get good positioning when you have an explosive cask and that fear that's going to come from Hecarim as well. It just spreads everybody out.
All right, so they are hovering over the LeBlanc. We were talking about that just a second ago. Take Fun is part of his trifecta. Well, we've lost the Fizz now, so it's basically Zed and LeBlanc for his top champions. So it's open for him. It's an Ahri matchup. It works. He locks it in. Yeah,
it's a skill matchup right now. It's all about the charms. All about the charms. What is the last pick that we're looking for? Support to come out of Gamers 2. They're into a Janna.
They're looking very pick.
They are looking very pick.
I would like a Morgana or a Thresh here.
Yeah, like a Thresh would be the other one. The other thing is...
or a Leona.
Or a Leona. Any champion like that has that kind of crowd control. The other thing is Thresh is just going to be able to, as you say, help pick them. Charm into Thresh Hook.
Into Aurelia.
Into Aurelia is a pretty difficult situation to deal with.
We'll see where they go.
Ticking through a lot of options here.
No, it's going to be the Thresh. All right, I mean, you have a pick comp. Let's pick Thresh. They'll pick you harder. And also they have a nice little bit of front line as well.
The other part of this composition setup, Reason have heavy disengage. Janna, Gragas is two of the most disengage heavy champions ever. So G2, they'll need to create picks rather than go for straight on team fights, because G2 are going to struggle to get hard engage. They actually are fairly lacking hard engage. Yeah. There's no one champion that is just going to go straight in and get in amongst everybody. So they'll have to play around picks, play around item spikes with regards to Corki off that Trinity Force spike. So expect a somewhat quiet bottom and mid lane matchup until that level 6 and the first items start coming around.
Well, it's an interesting point you raise about how the mid game's going to go, because, I mean, games 2, they have to get a pick, because they're never going to just jump in with Ari and say, I'm the tank now, I'm engaging. Like, that's not going to happen. And even if she does, then Reason Gaming are just going to blast her away with Monsoon and Gragasol anyway. So, I mean, the ball really is just in Reason Gaming's court to force something when they want to.
Yeah, and the other thing is Reason Gaming, although they got hard disengaged, they've got hard engaged as well. The flanks we just saw out of Kuban. So even though Reason won the last game fairly comfortably, I'm liking the Reason comp more than I liked their last one.
Yes,
even though it's very similar, I actually still like it.
I think so too. It just revolves around them not getting picked, because this is a very scary pick comp. Someone gets hooked and they're basically dead.
G2 in previous lives and in other games have been very good at pick comps. Pick comps are very effective if your opponents aren't warding and dewarding properly. So this game is anybody's game.
Absolutely, Stress. However, while you're at home, make sure to tweet at us with the hashtag #ChallengerBigPlays if you see a big play by one of the teams, and your tweet could make the broadcast.
Could make the broadcast.
Yeah, could see it tomorrow in the grand finals.
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows?
If there are any big plays. I mean, we saw some pretty big plays in the last game.
Yeah. It was mainly just burning the cog clash. And like, hey!
True, that deja vu gank in the bottom lane on Jeebus. That was actually quite effective.
It was. It was a big play, but it wasn't a flashy big play. Either way, we're going to get into game and see if there are any flashy big plays as the teams flash onto the Rift with their spawning animation. Gets beard. Yeah, so we'll see what they do in the early game. Kuban has, again, opted for the Flask, so he'll probably be going for a camp, going into the top lane. This is a lane where he can comfortably pick Boots up first, and Smitty J is going to have a very hard day. It's a lane where Smitty J, or rather Kuban, is very difficult for him to screw up, because all he needs to do is Smitty J goes in for a last hit, he hits Q, and he wins the lane.
Yeah, which is why I would expect Irelia not to want to sit in this lane.
Yeah.
We already talked about it a little bit. Gilius is going mid. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on Take Fun. It's very early, so he just recalls.
Yes. However, it stops him from invading.
Yes, it does. It puts a lot of pressure on Reason now to safely invade, but they've showed so many people on the top side of the map, they actually know it's a fairly even invade.
Yeah.
When you come to think of it. So, how will these lanes end up? Because I would not want to sit in the Irelia Hecarim matchup.
Nope. They also have Corki as well, so, I mean, it would be a fairly ideal lane swap up against the Lucian and Janna. Plus, they kind of get the best of both worlds. Doesn't look to be the case so far. Jeebus has been spotted on the ward, so he is currently sitting in the bottom lane. And it looks like we might just have standard lanes.
May do. I mean, that's what Reason should chase it.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. They've got good lane pressure from Lucian and Janna. Very difficult to deal with once you put the shield on Lucian, the auto attacks, the light slinger. They've just got to watch the hooks from Hiva. That's the problem they have to deal with.
Yep.
1 or 2 hooks land in the laning phase. Janna doesn't have the sustain. Difficult to do it. And we've already talked about how Kuban's going to be happy to potentially crush Smitty J.
Yeah, those are the bottom mids in a nutshell. Yep. Or top and bottoms, all right.
Bottom mids.
Bottom mids. The bottom mid lane, also known as the jungle.
I don't even know where you're going with that.
I don't either, but I know what the bot lanes are doing, which is take those initial camps to get the level 2. It is Kuban taking a camp. Everyone's in the jungle. Everyone's taking camps. Smitty J also goes for the Raptors. It'll be getting him level 2 as well. Top lanes will be going back. Then they'll be going to teleport to top. And then they'll be starting off the game. The
other thing here is if Hecarim goes and gets a cloth armor, this is an exceptionally difficult lane for Smitty J to win. You just don't know. There's actually the cloth armor. How do you trade against this in lane early on? When you can't kill the creep and land the damage and just stun the Hecarim, how do you sit on top of trading in this lane. I don't know.
I'll be very interested because SmittyJ has to do something exceptional.
Yeah, if SmittyJ can outplay this, that would be actually a massive feat in this match.
It would be god level, especially as Kubon is the Irelia player of the tournament. So you're playing my champion and I'm playing its counter. So
I wonder, is he gonna do it?
Yeah, it's just SmittyJ. You want this CS? Q. you want this CS? Q.
Zayu going for very early crab control here. So and I like this play actually because they know that one of the ways that that this game could end up being turned around is if Gilius were to look towards that top lane to actually try and unseat Kubon in the early game. So although that does kind of slow Gragas a little bit, Crab gives less experience now, and it's going to mean Zayu takes longer to get to level 3 and get his double buffs. It does give a little bit of safety to Kubon, but look how far Kubon is actually pushing. And remember, Hecarim has no flash this early on. Gilius is in the lane completely unseen, and Kubon is going aggressive.
Yeah, SmittyJ, he'll have to go back into the angry Hecarim, though, if he wants to help, but he's dropping low. He might just walk into it. What's even happening? He has the Ignite going down. There's the Rampage. There's the Ignite. He falls over the Spear. He goes over First Blood. He looks for the second.
Double
he gets
kill.
the 1-on-2. You were looking for big plays. There's one right up.
What? Gilius got in there unwarded, but far too squishy this early on. That is an insane play out of Kubon to get the 2-for-1 in that situation. SmittyJ just lost so much health before that happened, and Kubon goes huge.
And you know what? That's given him 4 minutes into the game.
What?
He has Tabai home guards. Bot lane, here comes Zayu looking for more. In comes with the Drunken Range, follows up with the Q as well. He's dropping low. There's the exhaust, trying to get this kill down. He hooks him into the tower though. He'll be looking for this last tower shot. He gets taken out. Jeebus dropping low, but he is underneath the sanctuary of his turret. He gets the 1, or rather the 2-on-3 kill onto Zayu.
Okay, I have to calm down a little bit because I went supersonic. And honestly, these junglers need to calm down. Hiva is enough to deter that. The junglers also need to kind of take a little bit of a breather because that was not the best of engages. And actually now Hiva has double buffs in this bottom lane. Hooks are going to come out more often. Those auto attacks from Thresh are going to deal so much more damage now with the red buff tick as well. However, you alluded to the home guard Ninja Tabai this early on. That, I do not know. Again, SmittyJ was in a tough matchup as it was. Now he's in a very, very difficult matchup, although that time he gets the stun off, but here comes the return trade out from Kubon.
Yep, welcome to Hecarim. He just out-trades you anyway. Gilius is going to try for round 2 top lane.
It's warded this time.
It is warded, and a tail dive is not exactly what he wants. However, in just under 40 seconds, we will have a Kubon who has teleport and home guard. And that'll be very, very strong, because if bot lane, gamers 2 like to engage, then there's a Hecarim also there who you have to deal with, who will detonate anyone he jumps on. There's a lot of damage early game. You'll have around 300 AD as you teleport in, hit 2 with the E. Gilius sitting in the bush. He's trying to go for this lane gank here. Bot lane though, Hiva trading off. He's still got those double buffs. There's a double tap coming out. Libic takes a couple autos from Jeebus. That red buff is really annoying.
Yeah, that trading potential now turns this lane on its head. As Celever and Libic should, in theory, have had the better lane presence. Zayu's going to try for round 2 again. This time no buffs at all, so we can't give them over this time. But Jeebus gets himself out. It's a very comfortable lane. Now Zayu's caught.
And takes a fast bomb. Hits him with the auto. Hits him with another auto. Have a red buff. And they can still see him as he backs off. Zayu will have to go back into the jungle. He'll be able to sustain himself through, but he's gone for the Stalkers, so he's only sitting on the happy hour regen. Meanwhile, top lane, Kubon has 6 over SmittyJ's 5, and he's legit just sitting on minions, and SmittyJ is just trying to farm for his life. Currently 47 CS to 25.
Yeah, the one place he can't sit on minions, though, is under the turret. That's a little bit risky.
Correct, yeah.
That's too ballsy, and Hiva is actually going for a roam of his own. Those double buffs have timed out here, so looking for something in the middle lane just by running in. That's some balls right there. That's saying, I hope you're not watching your lane. I'm just going to walk in and try and flay you.
I hope you're looking at bot right now.
Nice in theory, but also trying to predict the W. I mean, he was trying to make the big plays.
Yeah.
He wants to be on tomorrow's show.
Yeah. Yes, he does. And it's going to take a lot to top that 1v2 double kill from Kubon, though. Mid lane is the Aether Wisp picked up by Ica, so he's looking towards the Luden's Echo, most likely. I don't think we're going to be seeing a first item Lich Bane. Kuban in the top lane.
Sitting on a minion.
Sitting on minions.
That's all you've got to do in this matchup. It's so frustrating to play. So frustrating.
Follows up, and there's the Q damage. Just over time, you just keep on queuing.
And now SmittyJ has no mana. He has to back. And then he either loses a whole bunch of tower damage or forces the teleport out from SmittyJ. This is what. Oh, Kuban goes greedy.
He might go 1-on-2. Here's the 1-2. He has ultimate though. However, Transcendent Blades is down.
Oh, the respect.
Just back off. Yeah, they don't go on him. I mean, that's a level 5 Gideon up against a level 7 Hecarim with Ignite ultimate. So it makes sense. Mid lane though, there's double distort. Doesn't land the second one though. It's not all that much damage with the jukes though. He just turn around, comes out with the Ignite. Take Fun with the autos. He puts the clone into the turret, takes him out with the jukes.
Oh, Take Fun draws the triangle around Ica. There's the Illuminati, and down goes Ari, because that was a great little play out of Take Fun. Reason Gaming are outplaying Gamers 2 in both of these games.
That was fantastic. We've just seen mechanical plays now by Reason Gaming. They've demonstrated how good they are around objectives, map control, and now they're showing how strong they are in lane as well. They're just showing us everything that we want from a team. I mean, it's just a showcase of what we want, and now they go for Dragon as well.
And I'm gonna be honest, Reason Gaming haven't shown us mechanically amazing plays for the split. I would say Reason have just been one of those teams that have been good when they've. This is gonna sound stupid. I'm gonna rephrase this because I was about to say they've been good when they've been good. You know, that's thanks.
I mean, Stress. It's not a wrong
Thanks,
statement.
Stress, for the analysis on that one. No, when they've been winning, they've just been solid. They've not been exceptional. Yeah. These two games, however, they are making the plays when they need to.
That is accurate.
Yeah, that's a better one. They have been good.
Goes onto this ward. He'll be taking that one away. Zayu sitting in the jungle. He'll be going for his red buff. Bot lane though. It is the missile pressure building up. There's the flash. There's the play. There's the ult onto 2. Jeebus follows up with the damage. He'll be coming in with the fresh lantern.
Oh, this is a scary teleport.
He's coming from top lane. No home guard. So he tries to get in range, comes in with the hook, lands it. There's the teleport by SmittyJ. This could go very wrong for Kuban very quickly. He still has the ultimate though. He might be able to kill Jeebus in time. He comes out, he gets, he doesn't get him. And that's so 2 for 0 for Gamers 2.
Man, that nice teleport out by SmittyJ after Kuban teleported down. Teleported without those home guards coming down. But SmittyJ picks up a kill. That'll get Irelia back into this matchup a little bit. So overall, G2 have just picked themselves up a little bit of a lead here. One Dragon is in favor of Reason Gaming, so this game is still anyone's.
It is, but I'd also like to talk about the CS difference, where Kuban is still ahead in top lane. Only now 10 CS ahead, but you can see 500 gold ahead in the top lane, 700 gold ahead in the mid lane. Jungle's behind, I'm not going to talk about that. In the bot lane, they are 200 gold behind. So they're winning in half of the board here. Gamers 2 aren't in a horrible position. In fact, they are actually ahead in gold currently.
A key thing with them being slightly ahead in the bottom lane is that when they reach the Triforce spike, the Dragons should just about be coming up, but it's top lane that Reason they're turning their attention to.
No has made a mistake, and he is regretting his decision so much right now, and Kuban comes out with a devastating charge. Just needs one auto. Chase him down.
He can't quite get him.
I'm faster than you.
He's just spinning.
Get you. Okay, got him.
He's spinning the scythe, just trying to, I'll get you. Just trimming the hairs off the back of the neck. But, mid lane again.
Yeah, there's the combo. Doesn't land the chains, so he won't be going all in. Ica also has his full cooldown rotation.
Ooh, wow, great hook.
Lands right through the dash as well. Follows with the fast bomb. There's the ultimate. Valkyrie's in. Tries to get onto the lantern, but the monsoon is keeping him alive. Goes all the way back to fresh. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Ooh. But Celiver's too low. Jeebus and Heaver have done far too good a job in this bottom lane to really allow Celiver and Libic to sit there again. Mid lane trades.
Yep. And he burns Ica's ultimate. That's all he came for, and he got it. Bot lane now, Jeebus and Heaver just taking away this turret. This should be going down. I mean, they only have 3 caster minions though. Seems need to see how much of beating they can take. We do have another minion wave now coming in. Gideon in the sidelines. There's a chains once again. Charm does not land. There's the follow-up. There's the ult. There's the ignite. Ica has to flash away. And Take Fun still has his own flash. Gideon tries to get the spear down. Ica can't recall while on fire. That is fairly distracting. but Zayu now heading into the bot lane. He has been spotted out by this ward. He'll be also spotted out by this pink ward.
Lantern.
But can they get away in time? Comes in with the ultimate, knocks back Heaver. We'll have Lipic following up as well. There's the culling damage from Celever, takes him out. 5-4 currently in terms of kills. That was a much better gank by Zayu.
Yeah, better gank by Zayu. How much damage can they put down on the turret? That doesn't really flip the lane so much, as G2 still are in a comfortable position. But if Reason Gaming can take that turret down, there's now a lot less map control for G2 as this Dragon is going to be coming up in about 3 minutes time, just over 2. So Reason right now, they were at the mercy of the Triforce spike coming out from Corki and the Dragon being available with both turrets in the bottom lane, potentially even G2 having it down. G2 want to chase this because they know they need to turn the pressure back onto Reason Gaming, because that was far too easy a pickup for Reason Gaming to just take. Reason are winning the top half of the map. G2 until now have been winning the bottom half. Now the turret's down, Dragons are going to be easier for Reason Gaming to take.
Interesting.
And
so
Ica
decided to try and go top and just did a U-turn and went straight back to mid. Kuban is now just pressuring the top turret. Jeebus did manage to take that bottom turret, and he also has Heaver waiting in the wings just to lantern him away, just in case he gets under any pressure. Mid lane again, looking for the outplays. Take Fun definitely has his champion here, comes in with the chains. Gilly is looking for the spear though, will follow up, doesn't land onto the stealth. Take Fun, but the ignite will finish him off.
Wow, Take Fun, did he just W into the spear?
He didn't get hit by the spear.
Okay, he just took a massive chunk of damage. It might have been from the E from Gilius.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I didn't quite catch that. I was actually checking
well,
top
I saw
lane.
it originally miss, so he might have jumped into it, yeah.
I was watching top lane on my screen at that time. So, but the thing that G2 are doing really well here is they got that bottom tower. Corki went back, he picks up his Trinity Force. Now they pressure out mid, or at least chunk the health of the mid tower as well. So this creates a situation where G2 can get a pick. Get either the Dragon or the mid, or both, depending on how much they can get from a small skirmish. So G2 are playing to their composition a lot better this game, and they're slightly ahead. We're actually going to see a replay to see exactly what happened.
The spear.
Because I didn't see this the first time, so I'm a little interested to see exactly what happened here. So he puts a lot of damage down onto Ica. Gilius comes in, Ignite's already ticking. Oh, he W's into the spear. Oh, I thought so, but oh man.
Originally I was like, well, he dodged it, so
I thought he did. But then I was like, nah, I'm going crazy. You wouldn't W into a spear. Who would do that?
If you think about the physics of that, he jumped into the back of the spear.
So. Oh, hook on Celever.
Celever though, there's Jeebus with the follow through. So much damage, he's just caught out straight up.
Great timing. Dragons just come up. We already spoke about how mid tower has been lowered. That was the pick that they needed, potentially, to set up this Dragon. Smitty J has teleport, so does Kuban though. That's a little bit of a problem. Kuban's actually recalled as well in preparation for this Dragon, so G2 haven't yet secured control of the Dragon Pit, so Celever may just about be in time if this is about to kick off, but Ica looking for the steal on the Crab, didn't get it, but they will start the Dragon.
Absorbs the spear.
Kuban's recalling.
Over the wall. He has the vision currently of Dragon. He has flash if he wants to try and go for the steal, though. He does not get it. A little too late. Gillis did have a lot of damage with his smite. Meanwhile, Take Fun is taking the opportunity to push down the middle lane as he jumps away with Distortion. But hey, we said this in Champion Select, where Gamers 2, if they are going to win the mid game, it's going to be through picks.
Yes.
That's exactly what they're doing.
But I like what Take Fun did. Shoves at mid lane, prevents a lot of the pressure that G2 have. However, they're a little too strong grouped as 4 here. The Janna Shield's not going to be enough to hold this turret. The Celever actually went bottom lane here. So that's another turret going down in favor of Gamers 2, and we certainly have a series on our hands here. G2 are looking to push actually the next wave. They don't have a lot of minions here, so they shouldn't be able to get this. And actually, Kuban's coming down from behind them. They know he's there from that pink ward. Take Fun's looking to chase. Can't land the chains. That's going to spell the end of this.
Up. He jumps in. He lands it onto 3 people. Smacks Ica against the wall with his devastating charge. Take Fun as well will follow up, culling from the sidelines. That's a little bit of damage. Take Fun follows up, gets the chains onto Smitty J. He'll be flashing away. Does he have the damage to take him out, though? There's a second Chains of Corruption. Rather, a Chains from LeBlanc. Varus isn't in this game. Gideus follows through with his damage. Celever onto the sides of the fight, trying to chase him down. A lot of people are low on mana from Gamers 2's side. And Smitty J and Gilius taking down the mini wave. Jeebus has gone a little too close to the fire, perhaps, as he jumps in. Iker will be doing the same. He'll get the charm onto Lebig. He turns around. Celeber takes him out. Zayu looking for the re-engage. Here's the home guard. He'll be catching up to you whether you like it or not. He'll be moving on to someone. Doesn't quite get in range. Great equilibrium strike. He'll get you eventually with a devastating charge. Kuban now underneath the turret. Doesn't have his ultimate. Gilius tries to execute him with the takedown. He will get it. Celeber comes across with his light slinger. Another spear gets sidestepped by Celeber this time around. And Jeebus tries to get the last auto attack, and DZ will get the last laugh.
So overall, 2 for 2 in that trade, if I'm not mistaken. And G2, they got the turret to begin it, and it looks like they took a bit of an even fight there. The gold remains fairly even between these two teams.
We have a couple turncoats from Gamers 2. There's now a much closer fan vote now, 55% over to Gamers 2. So Reason Gaming pretty even with their opponents currently.
It's fairly even, but as you said, Reason have got a little more support after that first game. Both teams are still very much so in this game, though. It's not over yet.
Something I would like to mention, though, is in a typical game in the last couple of weeks, if Gamers 2 would have lost the first game, their mentality would have been out the window and they would have just been destroyed game 2. They have made a serious improvement over the last couple of weeks, and as they were talking to me about, apparently their management really has just come through for them, and they have improved that team mentality. They have come into this game strong, like game 1 didn't even happen.
Yeah, that certainly looks to be the way. One thing I want to kind of adjust focus on now is look at a little bit at the item paths, especially in this middle lane. You look at Ahri's build path, opting for the Mercury Treads, plus pieces of an Abyssal Scepter, and the Aether Wisp as well. Basically, Ahri is turning into a charm bot. You get the charm, you land the damage, I'll get damage later in this game. It's not too important for me. However, Secret Agent Hecarim is on duty. Here he goes.
Here he goes. On to Gilius. There's the follow. Up with the ultimate. Comes across with a culling. Looking for the lantern. Oh, he takes it away from them. He scumbag Gilius out of his lantern. Kuban will be finishing him off. He gets the hug down. Take Fun's drop very low from Smitty J. He's just drumped on his face. Looking for the juke with the distortion pad. He's away. But Jeebus will take him out. Iker was in from the bot side as well. Jeebus didn't even get an assist with his auto.
Unlucky for Jeebus, but Iker's still chasing this. They go over the speed path here from the crab. Oh, Libik just didn't get hit by that charm.
Man, Jeebus really did scumbag Gilius there. He had Valkyrie, he had Flash.
It's like, hey, I'm the AD carry. This is my
This is my lantern. He's my lane partner.
Gilius did not buy his monthly ticket for the Thresh Express. No. He got caught by the ticket officer. Oh, Heaver's coming in through the side here.
Here's the ticket officer right now.
Officer Thresh.
Yeah, hands out death sentences.
Oh man, I would not want to be caught on the cheap if that was the punishment.
Pretty scary. That's what it's like in the Shadow Isles.
Man, they really just...
Right, let's take a look at that last fight again, though.
Okay, so
this was actually, Take Fun and Iker went at it.
Did the charm hit? Okay, Take Fun dodges through. Oh, it's Smitty J in from the bottom side, and Take Fun wasn't expecting it at that point, so that was pretty straightforward in the end. Yep. Does he jump to the... No. Okay.
Well, we know the future.
We know the rest of it, yeah.
Well, hey.
We got it. He got it. So, yeah, that was, I guess, just misread from Take Fun. Didn't see Smitty J coming from the bottom side. But again, this game's fairly even right now. I mean, Reason Gaming have the smallest lead in gold. It's not really anything to write home about. So, this is a much better game as 2 than we saw in the last game.
That is for certain. I'm not sure if he needed to smite that. But I mean, everyone was closing in around him from Gamers 2.
Out of mana as well.
Out of mana. Why not head back to base? He's still recalling. Yep. Go back to base. I'll take your pink ward. Heaver quite happy with this. Gilius will come in for the last hit. Heaver did all the work.
Again, though, Kuban is pushing in the bottom lane.
Yeah. Top lane, though. Oh, Celeber. This is an AD carry's worst nightmare. Oh, mid lane though, Take Fun takes so much damage from Iker. He will again juke the Orb of Deception. Meanwhile, top lane Celeber is getting melted by Smitty J. Comes in with the AD carry, assassinate, Take Fun up to the top side. Will Smitty J follow across through that tower? The answer is no. And LeBlanc is very slippery, but Celeber is not quite that.
That's a lot of. That's a big statement made by G2 of how much power they have right now. Trinity Force completed on Irelia, Trinity Force completed on Corki, and actually Irelia has done a decent job now that they're out of the laning phase of surviving through that matchup. Yes, she's behind in CS, but at the same time now she's not stuck 1v1. She can split push now, just as Kuban has been trying, and G2 with the pressure applied top side have got themselves their second dragon of the game, so it's
very nice.
a very rejuvenated G2 this game.
Yep, they're sitting on some pretty good power spikes, the double Trinity Force, the Abyssal Scepter in the mid lane, plus the Rod of Ages in the jungle, going for that route this time, the Magus. And Gamers 2 are just looking pretty damn strong. In the mid game, they're making the right decisions, they're getting the picks with their composition. Heaver's trying to do the same onto Libic right here as they fight over wards. But as there is no dragon to fight over, Libic isn't going to be pressuring as hard. Have another ward. I'm not sure if that's too soon. But
oh, just about got it. That Oracle's sitting over. Oh, they put a pink ward down.
Yeah.
Worth.
Get aced. Yeah. Ace up Heaver's sleeve.
Got it.
He got ahead in that one. That was like 45 gold. Kuban in the top lane, carrying on farming. He is still ahead with Smitty J, but Smitty J has not been shut down to the point where he can't just delete their AD carries we saw earlier. He will still be able to melt Celeber in a team fight. But in a 1v1 scenario, if they go for the 4-1 from Reason Gaming, still a problem that Hecarim can completely out-trade earlier.
G2, for the most part, this game have stopped a lot of the wards behind them, but Smitty, wow, okay, Libic just took so much damage.
Yeah, he'll look to re-engage, does get the ultimate down from Zayu. There's the spear coming across. Great body block by Kuban. It's not going to be enough, though. He will be jumping away with his ultimate. He'll also get melted by Smitty J. The side steps, the dancing shoes from Zayu. He'll come away with the body slam. They're trying to keep up the chase. Ica with the first Spirit Rush. He'll come in with the last one as well. He has the flash to try and catch up. Take Fun with the chains will keep him in place. They just lost a lot in the last couple of seconds. 2 kills over to Gamers 2, and top tower will soon follow.
So just like we said in between games 1 and 2, Gamers 2 just had to take this more mid-game focused team composition, and as soon as they hit the point in the game where they have their items, they just deal so much damage, and this is the Gamers 2 we're used to seeing when they're actually playing well. Yep. This is the Gamers 2 that are playing around a mid-game power spike.
This is week 3 and earlier Gamers 2 that we're seeing come back into this game. And once again, Celeber, with the split push, he always does that. He's always the AD carry with the split push. This time he didn't get all that much, only got a little damage onto the bot lane turret. But this is really just turned into Gamers 2's game, and they are only slightly ahead in gold. This game is very even, you have to remember, but they're just playing so well. They're constantly getting those picks. Just case in point, really, in the mid game, Kuban gets hooked by Heaver, and he takes a chunk of damage from Ica. And Take Fun now rotates back into the mid lane. He has that blue buff now. Let's take a look at their side. We've really been focused on Gamers 2's item picks, but top lane Kuban, of course, has gone for the Triforce. Will be going straight tank from here, looking for the Frozen Heart, most likely. Mid lane here has Take Fun with his 2 items, the Death Cap, the Morel, and Omicron. And in the bot lane, again, fairly standard, has the Affinity Edge, has the Static Shiv, and there's no Zeeks this time.
Yeah, no Zeeks Herald, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway, although that is a Vamp Scepter and a Kindle Gem. So maybe we'll see another one out of Libic. Not too many items built out of a Vamp Scepter, especially not for supports.
Unless it's going to be Bloodthirster, right?
No Zeeks yet, but I have a feeling we're going to see one in about 2 minutes' time.
We'll go for Essence Reaver and keep his mana pool high. Yeah, it is now awarding coverage. The Vision game coming out from Gamers 2. They have pretty much suppressed Reason Gaming, keeping them on their own side of the map. So all they can really do is just sit in the middle lane, and there's typically no wards there. Oh, no one saw that.
Nope. Nobody saw it, not at all. But, you know, the Reason Gaming this time just don't have the later game scaling AD carry that they had in the last one. Remember, Tristana was banned, so Celeber didn't have that as an option for this game, so they opted for the Lucian, which has the better early game and decent mid, and okay late game. But when you compare that to the AD carries from the last game...
by Zayu. Knocks him sideways, though. There's the follow-up by Kuban. Teleport from behind. That will mean full retreat by Reason Gaming. They will be moving on to Smitty J. He gets immediately exhausted. Now also onto Ica, who's jumped too far forwards onto the front lines. Libic uses his Monsoon. He'll be blasting away the competition. This time, Jeebus is separated from the team. There's the Lantern for the Fresh Express, but that's a bait-your-own teammate Lantern there. Take Fun now following on to Heaver. Tries to get the chains onto him, but it will be the hook over the wall by Heaver, saying hi to the Crooks. And no kills actually went down in that engagement, but it does mean Gideus will be able to take away this pink.
Yeah, Reason did, however, secure vision over Baron for now. Take Fun, knowing he's sat on his own pink ward, knows he can't be spotted here, but doesn't look like G2 are actually going to play into their hands. 1 minute 20 until Dragon. Wow, Take Fun is in a lot of trouble here.
Oh, that's the worst time to face plant, and Jeebus will take advantage of this situation. Distortioned off cooldown, though. Where does he go? Does he juke? Well, I mean, there's Nika there, so probably not. 25 gold in the bank for Jeebus, and Take Fun still backing away. So, I mean, he got the moral victory, but right there, Take Fun had to burn his flash, and yeah, needs to stop face planting walls.
Yeah. That's for sure. Twice in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it happens to everyone.
Yes, it does, but it makes you feel better about yourself when you see a pro player.
It's not Flash. That's even worse, because then you're just at the mercy of a long cooldown.
Yeah, it's depressing. However, 35 seconds now onto the Dragon. Gamers 2 are poised to take it. There are 2 Dragons currently in this game, and they definitely have the mid-game advantage we've seen. Even in the head-on, the confrontation have been pretty strong, even without necessarily picking someone straight up. Reason Gaming, though, Kuban is still a major threat, especially if he gets that teleport home guard down, and he does indeed have teleport.
He does. One thing that Reason don't have right now, for another maybe 20-30 seconds, is the Janna Monsoon. So Reason have to be careful they don't get engaged on. We talked about how there's no hard engage out of Gamers 2. They're only looking for picks here. So Reason should be able to play around this until Monsoon is up. Ooh, that hook nearly landed. They can't afford for any hooks or charms to hit them, because Reason actually just have a fairly strong fight potential as long as they don't get caught.
Yeah, it's a game of dodging skill shots from Reason Gaming. They can't get hit by a spear, they can't get hit by anything really. As the rocket comes through, does manage to tag Take Fun. Another hook goes wide. Iker with the charm lands onto Zayu. Not quite the target they wanted.
Just a lot of poke right now coming out from Gamers 2. Nidalee, Ahri, Corki, all E's.
This is
good.
This is ballsy.
Ballsy, that's another E.
Indeed. There's the calling. We'll be zoning away. Heaver again, looking for the hook, looking for the hard engage. He's basically that team's hard engage.
Dragon resets, though.
It's still on 4k HP. It's going to come down to a smite war with Gideas coming in here. He's fairly low mana.
Level 12.
There's the ultimate from Kuban with the blind side onto the back line. He'll be following up with the damage. He'll be going down. There's the Monsoon. It's keeping him alive. Gideas now moves onto the front lines. Doesn't really have anything else to offer. Looks for the takedown. Zayu now sitting on top of his face. He now has the flash into the back. This is so messy. Celiva now 1-on-2. He'll go down. A 4-4-2 for Gamers 2, despite that engage by Kuban.
And that fight going 4-for-2, a lot of the reason was Zayu actually sat on the Dragon and put the last little bits of damage down while the rest of his team got engaged on. And Jeebus was pretty much untouched. This is, it normally would be a risky play at 29 minutes here, but with 4 people still dead for Reason Gaming. However, teleport is up, 10 seconds on that timer here, and Reason do know that this Baron is being done, and G2 are very low here. Zayu can come in, one barrel roll.
Low, does not manage to get the Baron kill, and maybe taken down 1-on-3. He takes someone with him, but here comes Hecarim. How much can he take for it? Comes in, he's trying to get a range, he's thinking about it.
He doesn't want to go in against SmittyJ and Jeebus, knowing that Thresh is there as well. And G2 get out. That was a great trade for Gamers 2. Taking the Baron, taking... they lost the Dragon, but you'll trade that Dragon for a Baron any day of the week.
Yeah, 2 for 2 in Dragon, so 5th Dragon is not even close to being a threat unless this goes super late game. 17-11 currently. Gamers 2 do have the advantage. Now it's opened up into something more significant. Around 3,000 gold advantage for them now. And now they'll be moving into the mid game, into the mid lane rather, trying again once again to try and get picks. But they do have the ability to siege now. They have the Nidalee, they have the Corki. There's a lot of poke from long range.
I feel like in this game, the ZeuS Herald is a lot of gold into not the most useful of stats. If this, you know that your opponents are playing pick. Mikhail's Crucible is so good at undoing pick comps. You just completely free your AD carry or mid laner, and you get them out of there. I don't know whether ZeuS Herald is worth the money right now and worth the investment for a support. Take Fun's going to get chunked, and with Baron buff here, G2 actually have a very fast push. Take Fun goes in.
Hecarim from behind though, but Take Fun's already dead. This is a 4v5 if he decides to engage on this one. Mid lane is still getting chunked. There's the ultimate trying to zone him away. Kuban comes into the back line, but there's no follower from his team. He just goes in 1v5. Now it's a 3 versus 5, and they're trying to defend up against them. This is 31 minutes into the game, and this game might just instantly end.
It is. This Baron buff is just exactly what G2 needed to close this game out. And, you know, the Hecarim pick worked very well for Reason in the last game. Gamers 2 this time have completely undone it.
Yeah, they are trying to get in range, though. There's one tower remaining, but they do have one cannon minion. It's not going to be in range of the turret, and Jeebus is taking up the laser. Are trying to get in range. There is 3 seconds left on Take Fun, 15 onto Kuban, but they'll come in for seconds. They are destroying that tower so quickly. Smitty J tried to get onto Selva. He's pushed back to base. There comes the ultimate. They try to go into the back lines, but all they need to do is focus the Nexus. Take Fun is getting chunked by Jeebus. All they need to do is kill the Nexus here, and that's exactly what they do. Gamers 2 take the second game. They bring it to the third game, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm so glad we're going to a Game 3, because now we've seen what both teams can do. That was so much better out of Gamers 2, and honestly, they played that very well. Even though the top lane did not go the way they wanted it to, it went, I assume, the way they would have expected it to, and then Irelia just had so much more effect on the game. Irelia was just annihilating people again and again.
Yeah, that game, I mean, the game ended almost instantly. I mean, it was just like they had all of their inner turrets and then they just lost the game. But yeah, Gamers 2, even in the early game, again, Reason Gaming, we were talking about how good they were doing mechanically. Top lane won like it should have done. Almost maybe not enough, because, I mean, we saw the Irelia still killing Selva over and over again, especially just catching him off guard. But again, mid lane also won by itself, but it was not enough. Even though they had a fairly mid-game comp, they had the Lucian. They didn't have like a late-game AD carry like Tristana. So Gamers 2 just kind of outplayed them in the mid-game. Yeah,
what G2 did was play around their items, and that it was really important. Was as soon as you're running a double Trinity Force composition in Irelia and a Corki, you hit that spike, you pressure things, you get objectives, and they did that. And it was that final dragon fight where Xayah wasn't quite with the team, the charms started landing, the hooks started landing from G2. Pick comps are very difficult to play against if you're not a cohesive unit and you have the warding and the vision control that Reason needed for that. G2 played very well when they knew they had that edge.
Yeah, I really do think that the dragon was the tipping point of that game, where they went 4 for 2 and picked up the dragon, and yeah, just kind of, it sort of snowballed from there. Baron as well, of course, just went over to them, and yeah, I mean, like, Gamers 2 just played well. And it's great as well, because as we mentioned during the game, had this been a previous week, they would have just lost that game straight up, and it wouldn't have looked like a Gamers 2 who had any chance. But they just played like it was any other game, and now they've taken it to this final game, and this this single game will determine the fates of these two teams, whether they go up to the promotion tournament or whether they drop down into the next season of the EU Challenger Series Summer. So
yeah, there's a lot on the line now in this single game. You either win the game and face Rocket or Giants to get into the LCS, or you remain here in the cozy challenger scene.
Indeed.
And, you know, that's still a great prize on its own, but it's all about getting to LCS.
Yeah, basically said the same thing, but more eloquently.
You know,
I mean, what can you say? But yeah, these two teams right now, they both have their own strengths. I mean, we've seen it in both games now. You can see what puts them ahead in these games and where their falling points are going to be, or their failing points. So we'll see how it works out in this following game. But with that game, we are now tied up at 1-1 between Gamers 2 and Reason Gaming. It all comes down to the final game coming right up